On today's episode, you'll hear from a marketer who took her passion for skiing and turned it into a mission to help others hit the slopes indoors. This is the Be a Marketer podcast.
Be a Marketer.
My name is Dave Charest, Director of Small Business Success at Constant Contact, and I help small business owners like you make sense of online marketing. And on this podcast, we'll explore what it really takes to market your business, even if marketing's not your thing. No jargon, no hype, just real stories to inspire you and practical advice you can act on. So remember, friend, you can be a marketer, and at Constant Contact, we're here to help. Well, hello, friend, and thanks for joining us for another episode of the Be a Marketer podcast. As always, grateful to have your attention and grateful to be joined by the one and only Kelsey Carter. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, as usual. Now, my big question for you here, are you a skier?
So I guess I am technically, but I'm not like a avid skier.
You sound very confident in that assessment.
Well, because I grew up going skiing, like living in New England and New Hampshire. I grew up going to Attitash and Gunstock, and our middle school used to have ski trips. I definitely grew up skiing, but I haven't actually skied in like a good 5 years, but I've been trying to learn how to snowboard.
Oh.
So the past 2 years I've gone snowboarding, and it's a little tricky for me, at least, to pick up the turning, but it's really fun, but very different from skiing. Did you ski?
Well, funnily enough, have never been skiing.
Oh, wow.
Nor have I had the desire to do skiing or any winter sport for that matter.
I can understand.
Yeah, I'm just not a winter sport type of person. Unless that sport is sitting at the lounge around the fire having a beverage.
See, that was what my mom did. Whenever she took us, she would just get comfy in the lounge, have a few drinks, and then go about her day. Yeah,
so skiing, not for me. But our guest today has been skiing, since 3 years old. And as I've mentioned, I've been actually avoiding skiing probably even longer than that, right? But she started as a ski instructor, which is the reason for my line of questioning today. Sounds like she would be of great benefit to you in terms of your snowboarding efforts. But Kelsey, what else can you tell us about our guest today?
Yeah, so today our guest is Lena Niedzielin. She is the manager of Skieasy, which is an indoor ski facility at Duke Meadows in West London. Now, Duke Meadows is a premier pay-and-play venue for all ages. And they feature sports facilities, but not just for skiing. They have golf and tennis as well. And they also have scenic views, nature walks. So it's a place for a lot.
Yeah, very cool. So just to give people an idea of what this is, I guess the term for it is a revolving slope, right? Which basically means it's essentially like a ski treadmill, if you will. And Lena manages everything on the ski side of the business. And so she manages about 20 to 25 instructors at the facility. She manages the operation. She offers the offers that they send out, the training, the instructors, all of that. And of course, the marketing pieces of everything there. As you might imagine, she wears many hats, not just to keep her head warm. And, like many Constant Contact customers, right? Lena came into the role without a ton of experience in marketing. And she has this personal mission, and maybe she can try to sweep me up in it, but to make sure that everyone who wants to have the opportunity to ski or snowboard really gets that opportunity. And there are things she loves about that quest, of course, but it's not without its own set of challenges. Let's go to Lena.
I love people and I love skiing, so it's always a common topic you can talk to everyone about. It's a huge variety of people as well. It's interesting, but skiing is a sport that attracts many different type of people, different ages, and we do tend to have our customers in a big range of ages and abilities, different societies or professions they're doing. So being able to meet everyone and have such an amazing team as I have and be able to grow our business. We're currently opening a second slope, so it's our huge time now to expose ourselves, to get that recognition. We're going on a London Snow Show, which is one of the biggest trade shows within ski industry. It's happening this weekend. So we're expanding. The demand is higher and higher. People want to ski. And that's what is my mission, I think, is making sure that everyone who wants and wants even to try, if they're going to enjoy it, have opportunity to ski or snowboard.
So what do you find then most challenging about your role?
It's definitely making sure we tailor our offer and our lesson to different type of people. In terms of marketing, it's a huge challenge to find our target audience, which is so diverse. It's very difficult to find one specific strategy that would work for all our customers that we are trying to reach. As a business that is not very well known globally as an idea for a ski center, this is a one thing. So, people are not searching for us. People are not aware that something like that does exist. So the first thing is promoting our business concept and our slope itself. The second thing is to promote skiing and snowboarding as a fantastic sport and get people to get comfortable and confident before they hit the mountains so they enjoy the ski trip a lot.
So I want to get into some of the stuff that you're talking about here then, just in terms of marketing the business. And so you mentioned you were going to business school. Where would you say you're coming into the role anyway? What was your level of experience with marketing when you started?
I must say it wasn't big. I didn't have loads of experience with marketing for a business. I've been working a lot with Airbnb landlords or owners and administrating apartments for them for many, many years. And I always liked the part of creating a listing in a way that will attract everyone, making sure that the room itself, the apartment itself is what people are seeking for their trip, to accommodate variety of people, and obviously to get something to attract them just purely through one picture or our name. And making sure that works, the combination of the main picture, the name of the apartment or the place, is such a key for us to just come up as first few listings. There are different people, of course, but you don't go through more than 20, 30 apartments, I guess. And back in Poland, where I worked in Krakow, it's hundreds, thousands of apartments for Airbnb. So getting people to even notice you, it was such a big part. And I really liked it. The whole business degree I've done with Spanish that did emphasize a lot the importance of marketing, especially for smaller business, which I knew I always wanted to go for, to work in a smaller environment, have challenges that are different in bigger sizes companies.
So when you think of starting relatively kind of new to the marketing space as you begin the role, are there any particular skills that you've developed? We're 4 years into this now. What have you developed from a marketing perspective? Where would you put yourself on that scale now? Are you, where would you be there? And what types of things have you learned over the years?
Oh, I've learned so much. Definitely the importance of graphics and the layout. And I've always been very creative. So I think this is one of my biggest advantages I had from the very beginning. I was looking for things that would work and being creative, trying new things, trying to see what works, get that feedback from your customers. This is so important because they will tell you how they find out about us. Learning what they know, what they worked, and just trying new things and see what works for our target audience and making sure we get the feedback from people, which probably that part is one of the biggest breakthroughs I had with making sure I choose the right marketing strategy while it's based on a data that I have got myself.
How important are local events, community relationships, those types of things in terms of what you're doing from a marketing perspective?
This is very important. There's not many. The London Snow Show is one of the biggest ones, and it really brings together all part of that industry, from travel agency, indoor ski slopes, or equipment brands. We are not organizing many events as a center focusing on the ski industry, but as a big center with cafe area as well, we often have massive events. In terms of my marketing, I just know I need to make sure that they know, being for the first time completely randomly in our center, that there is a ski center. So making sure that the posters are very clear, very attractive for clients. or just the guests or visitors. Coming back to your question, the newsletter and making sure I'm reaching out, or this is why constant contact is absolutely my favorite tool for that. It makes the graphics part easy, the layout part very easy. It helped me a lot for a person who hasn't worked with programs like this before, who hasn't really sent off a newsletter before. So for that, I'm very grateful. But yeah, we have a very specific timeline in our business. It's winter sports, so we're obviously very busy during winter when people want a refresh lesson, when people want to get few lessons before they go for the first time, or whatever the reason is. The majority of that is to go for a ski trip eventually. But we are open all year round. For us to keep those clients, for them to come back to us during the summer, and in general to get people to come in during the summer, this is our biggest challenge as a business and something we've been working on the most. And the correct marketing strategy is the only way to get there, to be fully booked throughout the whole year, not only throughout the winter season. And one of the biggest tools is a newsletter. Me sending off with the good amount of emails a month, because I want to make sure that people are not getting bombarded with emails from a ski center. But us maintaining the contact with clients from winter is a key part for them to realize that the offer for summer is back on. When March is coming, the sun hopefully is coming out as well. Most of the time we forget skiing. We don't think about snow sports during it's absolutely understandable.
Right.
But if we can remind people about it and get them to practice when our prices drop down, when we get way more discounts and courses, packages, and making sure we communicate that well with our community, but also community of the whole center.
Well, I'm curious, what are the types of things that you're sending then in your newsletters? Is it strictly promotions? Are you like doing educational emails as well? Are there just updates about what's going on? You're building relationships. Like, how do you approach like what you're actually sending to people?
It's usually updates or some additional offer we might have for the specific time. It's a reminder of something that's coming up. We have done in the past a couple of educational videos, which we posted for social media. But in terms of the newsletter, it's mostly updates and our offer, reminder of the offer, Christmas wishes. But obviously around Christmas, we have a lot going on. Also some events. We partner with loads of other ski-related companies. We're trying to promote each other as well and support each other, share our clientele because it's the same. Mostly it's the same audience.
Yeah. You mentioned, of course, right, finding that balance between bombarding people with too many emails. So a couple of things. I mean, you've got a really good open rate, right? I think you're at like 50% in terms of your open rates. You get a really good click-through rate too, which is at like around 2%. How do you find that balance? What are you finding in terms of like how often are you sending to people?
As we are a small business, as Skieasy itself, but as a center, the amount of emails is quite similar. I would say we do keep it within 1 or 2 emails a month.
Okay.
With not more than 3 information included. So there could be a month when we need to send off 3 separate emails because we do want to prioritize different people or different information we want to emphasize at time. So it does depend on what we're trying to communicate with our clients the most, but I'm trying to keep it under 3 emails a month.
Got it. I guess, what are you doing with your contact lists itself? So you've got the overall group of people that are on your list, but are you using smaller lists to send specific things to specific people? Like, are you using segmentation at all? Talk me through that.
Yes, I do. And thankfully, again, Constant Contact is very helpful about making that happen. I do have groups that were part of the membership we were offering over summer. There might be few information I want to share directly to them and only members. That happens quite often. And me being able to just decide on the group I want to communicate something with is incredibly helpful, saves so much time. Working with all good programs or systems, starting from the online booking system, being able to generate reports quickly, efficiently, and then simply upload the file into Constant Contact, and I've got a mailing list done. it's the dream come true because I have way more time for other things, for making sure we expand, we open up Second Slope, as I mentioned before. Very useful tool.
So are there any other things that you're doing to grow that contact list at all?
We're quite lucky because we, in terms of, I guess, loads of service businesses is able to do that, but we require every participant to sign a disclaimer form, which means that we can also put down on the form if they would like to receive a newsletter or not. That brings us the big part of our main list. I think it is very important to make sure you have a very easy access to the button on the website that takes you to signing up for the new mailing list as well, which we do. And also simply QR codes around the center. I think many people, especially parents, when they are watching, they might look around the center a bit more than someone who comes in for, but even then, we take time to talk to the client before the lesson, making sure we understand what they need from the lesson, and always finishing with the feedback. So we're hoping they have enough time. And if they want to, QR code is such a great idea to make it very simple for them to do that. That's how we grow it, and cooperating with our other departments.
Gotcha. What type of results are you seeing from the work that you're doing with Constant Contact?
Oh, I think it's a game changer in terms of making sure that our regular clients, our loyal clients who want to come back where the offer is on, are receiving this information as the first one before it can go to social media. So let's say they are on a newsletter and they are also following us for different channels. That makes them feel like we treat them more personally. It's a smaller business. I often know the clients, remember them. I think getting them to find out about the offer as the first part is what makes them feel like we appreciate that they are our customers as well. I think it's a mutual recognition and appreciation for what they can get from us, what service we're giving, and for them to be part of the community and receive lessons from us, which we love doing. Everyone in the center loves skiing. About it.
Are there any numbers associated to what you're doing with Constant Contact in terms of results? Are there any specific things that you're looking to track and to measure?
Yes, I definitely looked at the reports are very helpful. The open rate is very, very useful to have an idea of how many people are receiving the emails, if it goes to the spam box, if they're not interested at all, being able to see if it's a reoccurring situation or it is a one-time thing. But also what I find very helpful in terms of the content in the newsletter itself is what people are clicking. And the fact that I can see which button was clicked the most, which information they scrolled down to. So everything that feedback that I get from Constant Contact is what makes the process of creating the next one easier. And I think it's more, and that's what data show. We only grow the number, and the number of email addresses getting bigger, open rate as well. Also, the amount of content people are actually reading or at least opening up, which is a key for them to actually have a look what the offer is or what the newsletter says.
Is there a particular or a roundabout percentage that you would say of sales or business is coming from the activities that you're doing from Constant Contact?
The sale itself, yes, it depends on the season. Constant Contact mostly helps us to grow loyal customers on the majority. That would be around 70% of people, but therefore our sales during summer. So it really helps to raise up the sale during summer when we are reaching mostly to our loyal customers. The ratio is very similar from social media to the website to seeing a banner somewhere locally or hearing about the center from a friend. But for our regular customers or someone who has been with us once and maybe forgotten, in summer, this is around 70% of the people who get the offer, who get our biggest membership, has already received the email.
Got it. What do you like most about Constant Contact?
How straightforward it is to work with. IT is not my biggest strength, but I'm creative and I like solving problems as well. So with the help of other people from marketing department, everything is doable. My graphic designer again. But definitely that it's so easy to operate it, to create campaign, to promote the campaign, the whole process of creating it and sending it over, the fact that you can so easily set the time for that, the recipients are every feature that you would like to adjust is easy to adjust. It's very self-explanatory, which I really like. And the reports are amazing. The reports are really helpful. And again, that's what makes us, I think, reach our current clientele and new customers better because we understand what information they're looking for from us and what they're interested in.
I'm curious, how often do you dig into the reports and then how do you use that information to make adjustments, right? Like, are you looking at that after every send? Do you do it like quarterly? Like, what is your cadence in terms of looking at that stuff?
I'm usually trying to track the report and what's going on the first few days after sending over the newsletter.
Got it.
After that, the data changes slightly, but the first 3-4 days are crucial. Tracking that and keeping the record of on which day the open rate was the biggest and how long did it take people to have a look at this or reopen the email or click on any of the buttons. And then I usually base that most recent report, or I base the next newsletter on the most recent report. Then annually, I like to compare all of them and see what campaign was the most successful one, what we've done well there, which one wasn't, what we've done wrong there. And again, it does help to have a better idea of where we want to go with our marketing strategy for another year.
What would it be like to market the center without Constant Contact?
Oh, it would be extremely difficult. It would be very difficult to create the network of loyal customers. To operate that well over summer would be absolutely impossible. And many of my instructors would have to lose their jobs because we wouldn't get enough bookings if people wouldn't get the reminder, get the invitation, get the information about the discounts and offers over the summer. That would highly, highly decrease our sales for sure. And if I have to balance between few instructors during summer and needing a lot over during winter and rehiring and training people and making sure that they are trained to the level that we require would make the managing part of the center extremely difficult. And it would be very, very highly cost.
What advice would you give another small business maybe considering marketing tools like Constant Contact?
I think analyzing a lot what works and what doesn't. Asking clients about what especially they have the possibility, if it's this type of a business, to get a feedback from clients, to understand if from their perspective, the campaigns are interesting, if the regularity of emails is too small, too high. That's very important, but it does help a lot to really retain the customers and make sure they come back. Then it only grows your business and the people that know about it and are interested in coming and using the services you're offering.
Well, friend, let's recap some items from that discussion. Number 1, get feedback from your customers. Oftentimes, the secret to success is that you must get feedback from your customers. Lena learned this early in her role. Customers will let you know things like how they found you, what attracted them, and where you should focus your future efforts. But that means you have to look for those signals and talk to your customers. Number 2, market for future business. Lena mentions how important it is to maintain contact with clients in the winter months so they're aware of summer classes. Now, marketing often has a longer tail of awareness that makes it easier to drive those immediate actions in the future. So, make sure this is part of your communication plans. Prepare people with communications for future actions. Number 3, give your subscribers first access. Lena shares that it's important to take care of loyal clients by giving them access to things before they're available elsewhere. It allows her to treat subscribers more personally and show appreciation for letting the Ski Center into their inboxes. What can you do to make your subscribers feel special? Here's your action item for today. Take a look at your reports. Find out what your subscribers find interesting and see the impact that campaigns are having on your business. When you look at your reports, then you can make adjustments based on what you're seeing. As always, you'll find resources in the show notes. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Be a Marketer podcast. Please take a moment to leave us a review. Just go to ratethispodcast.com/BAM. Your honest feedback will help other small business marketers like yourself find the show. That's ratethispodcast.com/BAM. Well, friend, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and continued success to you and your business.